Fitness trainer Bob Harper's dogs provided emotional support during his recovery from the ma.ssive heart a.ttack. When fitness icon Bob Harper collapsed onto the floor of a New York City gym in February 2017, his adoring dog, Karl, sat patiently in the corner as he always did, waiting for his owner to finish his strenuous workout. On this day, however, the loyal 10-year-old Havanese mix would have to wait for one of Harper's friends to take him home from the gym. The former trainer and host of NBC's The Biggest Loser, Harper, 52, had a near-fatal widowmaker heart attack and was in full cardiac arrest. His heart stopped. To put it simply, he was dead. He was also very lucky. A doctor happened to be at the gym and administered CPR and activated an automated external defibrillator, delivering a powerful electric shock to try to restore a normal heart rhythm. Paramedics who arrived used the device a third time before carefully moving Harper to a gurney for hospital transport. Because of his dedication to fitness, Harper seemed among the least likely to have a heart attack, which was ultimately caused by high levels of lipoprotein or LPA in his blood, a genetic condition that results in excessive amounts of cholesterol in the arteries. Diet, exercise and even lipid-lowering medications have little effect on those levels, which increase the risk of serious cardiovascular problems. Harper was aware that relatives had died of heart attacks, but had no idea he had the condition. The best medicine. Looking back, Harper remembers fainting after a workout 6 weeks prior to his collapse, and some dizzy spells, but at the time he didn't really attribute these events to a specific cause. When I woke up after 2 days in a coma in the hospital, I faced the fact that life can turn on a dime, he says. I was very depressed. Now I'm super appreciative of the time I have, and I want to focus on making the most of every day. He stayed strong and motivated throughout his recovery process, in part because he wants to experience more joy with his 2 dogs, Karl Lagerfeld and Vivienne Westwood, named for 2 of Harper's favorite fashion designers. 2 days before he was discharged from the hospital, Harper had a surprise visitor. Friends brought Karl to the hospital, and I feel like it was the best medicine Bob got, says friend Kate Angelo of Los Angeles, who with mutual pal Christy Conaway Murphy, headed for the Big Apple as soon as they learned of Harper's heart attack. All the color came back to his cheeks, just pure joy. Karl brought him step by step back to his old self, Angelo says. Conaway Murphy has seen firsthand how near and dear Harper's dogs are to him, and how pivotal they have been to his mental and physical recovery. Studies show you'll live longer if you have a dog, she notes. Dogs do brighten everyone's day. Saving each other. America's beloved trainer was raised on a cattle farm in Nashville, Tennessee. I used to watch my mom make big baby bottles to feed the calves, he says. I got my first dog, Waldo, a German Shepherd, when I was a kid, maybe, age 8 or 9, and I loved him. He was such a great little dog, and I think that's when my love affair with dogs began. He adopted Karl in 2010 from a Los Angeles-based dog rescue organization after a friend insisted that, "You need to meet this dog." He was found on the streets of Baldwin Hills in South LA, and he was just so emotionally broken and catatonic when I met him, Harper says. I was going to save him, and now, it's Karl who's saved me. Harper remembers the first time Karl wagged his tail, a few weeks after he adopted him. It was amazing, because he was just so afraid, he says. I took him everywhere with me and just kept holding him. I had no expectations, really, but we were always so bonded. His canine companion is not a purebred Havanese, says Harper, but he does exhibit many of the breed's desirable character traits. He's so devoted. He's a good watchdog, and he doesn't shed, so he's hypoallergenic. He's regal, stoic and eager to sit on my lap all day if I let him. During Harper's slow and arduous recovery, when even walking around the block was at first a behemoth challenge, Karl was by Harper's side. It was the only exercise I was allowed to do, and I had an identity crisis. It was really hard on me emotionally to try and be okay with not going to the gym. And Vivienne makes 3 as Harper got stronger, He began walking faster and more frequently than Karl was capable of doing. Then someone told him about a purebred Havanese in a pet store in the New York City enclave of Chelsea, and that the dog had been there 6 months. He says he wouldn't typically purchase a dog from a store, opting to adopt a rescue instead. However, last June, his curiosity piqued. Against the caution of friends who thought he shouldn't take on any more stress, Harper optimistically met Vivian, which he describes as a bundle of energy, smart and independent. Store management told Bob that if he reimbursed them for her vaccinations and spay that he could just take her. Their encounter was definitely meant to be. Vivian, now almost 2-year-old, is also obsessed with Karl, and with food.